All right. Jesus Christ, guys, I'm really sorry. Um, this thing, man, what is it? Like every time you try to do something, it's supposed to be like there we go. No, history, motherfucker. All right. Yeah, I don't even expect anybody. Everybody that was here kind of left. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. This is ridiculous. Just trying to go live shouldn't be this hard. I have it on the weakest settings of all, and now that there were like a few people in there, people just dipped, and I don't blame them. But for anybody who watches this in the future, I mean, I'm gonna wait a few minutes and let people maybe refine the stream. But I got the chat, and I'm playing music right now to Jesus Christ. Always forever playing with my hair. All right. It says there's one person here, but I don't know who that is. It's probably me. It's probably me, or some, I don't know. But hopefully you guys find it. Let's see. Let's actually. Oh, there's two people now. All right. I feel like Gino. I feel like Gino Reynolds right now. He's always talking about like how things are never like. You always have to ask how things are going. Like what's my videos like? Let's watch me live. Yeah, see, there we go. Well, at least I know it's fucking. So 2, 3 people are here. So please, somebody say something besides me. I'm sorry, everybody. That whole thing it wouldn't start, or it just wouldn't go live. Like it just kept spinning around and spinning around, and I made sure to go to a lower setting on my camera. And you know what? Forget this. I'm gonna drive myself nuts with my hair if I don't do this. All right. Thanks, Bill. Thank you so much. Designs, dude, you're here. Congrats. Yeah, we did it with your help. We got to 1,000 subscribers. Like I said, I was on my lunch break yesterday. I didn't want it to be at work, but I was saying, it happens when it happens, and guess what? It happened while I was at work. I had enough time to I pulled out my tablet right before I went on lunch, and I saw that it was 999. And by the time I got back to the break room and pulled up my Twitter and typed in 999, hey, we only got one to go, send that Twitter post out. And, with my Matt Foley telling, and by the time I got to the channel, like a few minutes later, it was already 1,000 subscribers. And I just yelled. I just went, woo! And I threw back my chair that's got wheels on it, and I kind of spun around all over the place. And I didn't care. I work where there's a lot of people, and they were all looking at me like I was nuts. Then when I'm walking around like this, because I can't. I'm stuck at work. I can't go nowhere. Nobody knows. One thing I've always wanted to talk about is this. Whenever I see myself live, whenever I see myself in videos, it really shows off how I have 2 different colored eyes. Like this one looks like I have like glaucoma or like I'm blind or something. The floodgates open now. It kind of, it's we're at 1007. Comic Stacks. Hey Stacks, how you doing, man? How you doing? Are you doing any Fallen Order today? I only got through like most of Kashyyyk, and then I got real lost trying to get that game is like Metroid, man. You can get so turned around in that game when you start looking for things. But anyway, I noticed like how much my eyes have different color, like colored eyes are show up so much stronger on camera. I don't know if that's how people see me in real life, but man, that's crazy. So yeah, we hit 1,000 subscribers. You guys are the best. It has been a crazy 2 years. Literally almost 2 years ago. Not tonight. I stay lost. Satan is here. That means DJ Crystal Clear is here. So DJ Crystal Clear is here. Like just about 2 years ago, I should pull up the video. I should find it and play it for you. My very first video, I'm not going to pull it up. You guys can look it up if you want to. You can look it up in the archives. But my very first video was a test. It was for when Star Wars Force Awakens came out. And after seeing that movie and being, pretty happy with it, not the actual now. After being happy with that movie, which, in retrospect, I still like that movie. It's not the best. But I got home and I was so excited that I pulled out my phone. I subscribed to me on a Happy review. When is Happy Season 2 going to be on streaming so I can finish reviewing that? Because I will go back and finish that. But I recorded myself talking about Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and I realized that it went live. It actually worked, and I just kind of started fooling around from there. But I tried to make, like some stuff before, but it really wasn't that good, and the audio was really bad. And so this was a few years ago now. Like, when was Force Awakens already? Like, that was a little while ago. And at that time, though, I was still like really hitting the sauce, man. I was really hitting the sauce. So my videos, I erased a lot of them. I deleted a lot of them from that time period because, some of them were all right. I was doing a lot of Walking Dead videos and talking about like Captain America, the Winter Soldier, or like Civil War, I think was out back then. But I didn't have a microphone, and the audio was really bad. The video was okay, but I was doing it on my Samsung Galaxy S5. And it just, I wasn't getting any traction. There was a little bit of action here and there, like Punisher. When Punisher Season 1 came out, I got a few hits, and Stranger Things came out. And I got a little bit of traction on that, but it never anything like big. And I was like at 25. And I'd been about 3 or 4 months clean and sober at that point. And I was really getting ready to, I really wanted to make an effort at the YouTube videos. And I was talking to people at work, and I was like, man, if I could just somehow get to like 50 subscribers in the next month or so before 2018, just to start to get things going. And here we are, like almost 2 years from then, at 1,000 subscribers. And I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe it's here. I honestly, because I finally convinced myself that it didn't really matter when, I was putting so much pressure on when we were going to get there, that it's like when people tell you to stop looking for a girlfriend, and then you'll find somebody, that kind of thing. Like, I stopped worrying about it. I put my attention into the content again, made the schedule, and it's like literally as soon as I got focused again, everything just fell into place here. And in the last like 2 months, everything just, not even 2 months. But I say 2 months because when in September, when I had a real blow to my self-confidence and I still wanted to make content, I dove into the one thing that I can talk about with confidence at the time, and that was comic books. Started talking, I'm just grabbing a random, I swear to God, I'm just grabbing a random comic book. I started talking about comics. I got back to comics because I had been reviewing them a little bit back in like 2016 when I first started trying to make YouTube videos again. And I stopped and I got back into comics, and I fell into this community that just I fell in love with, and I've been welcomed by them, by people like the Real Comic Stacks. And I'm going to get to you guys in the comments here. DJ Crystal Clear, yeah, you said subscribe to Happy. Real Comic Stacks, YouTube, it ain't easy. Being consistent and not getting frustrated is so hard. Yeah, it really was. It really was. But I was focused on the wrong things. I was worried about subscribers. I was worried about like how many views I was getting. And I was trying everything, and even though I felt like I was happy, I just wasn't doing it for the right reasons. It should have been about the content, always about the content. And it wasn't until I felt like quitting and fell back into comics reviews and found this new community of positive people that really are so earnest about talking about things, and they have their priorities straight, that everything started to click back into place. And I made the schedule and I got back on track, and we're like 3 weeks now into the schedule, and everything's just been happening at a better pace. And I stopped caring about the numbers, and I stopped caring about the views, and everything just all of a sudden happened. And that's how we got here. Plus, I mean, we had the support of those people, everybody, even the people that, like, there's people that aren't even subscribers anymore to the channel that still support me. And that's weird. That may sound weird, and they know who they are. In fact, I think one of them's here right now. That got me here. And there was a little final push from a couple of people that I knew on Facebook that helped me get past a couple of things. I think the last subscriber, I think the 1,000th subscriber was somebody named Narcotics Casserole Productions. I think is number 1,000. DJ Crystal Clear says, I have a joint on my laptop. You want to hit? Yes. I wish. Belinda says, congrats, Rob. Thank you, Belinda. Simba Trey says, congrats on my G. All right, man. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, DJ Crystal Clear says, I'm not worried about subs. Yeah, it's like I wanted to get to 1,000 so I could relax. But I wasn't relaxed getting there. And I realized you have to be relaxed the whole time, man. You really have to. It happens when it happens, and I did it. And now that I'm even past 1,000, just over 1,000 now, I'm chill. I'm ready. I'm finally in the right headspace to do this thing. And I owe so much to everybody as a group. There's so many different people to thank about this. Perp Minded says, congrats. I seen you doing your thing. Hey man, thanks. You're still stubbed? Oh, did you go private, Belinda? Because it's sure I don't see you on there. Desiree. Hey, Desi. How's it going? Did I ever tell you my sister's name is Desiree? Desiree? Yeah, my youngest sister's name is Desiree. Big hugs. Thank you so much. Big hugs back, DJ Crystal. I'm 300 away from 10,000, says DJ. Man, I ain't even going to think about that. That is just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to go into the mode of making good content, or at least trying to make good content, being consistent, trying new things, tweaking things here and there. Like, we used to have the clips, but then the camera got so messed up that now I just play stuff in the background. and just worry about what I'm saying instead of putting on all the bells and whistles. So even though I try to make my intros look cool and add music that I like and things like that that won't get me copyright striked, because after all, let me tell you something, man. I have 1,100 videos and I don't have any copyright strikes. Anything. I mean, I've been blocked. I've had my videos blocked. And I just tweak it and I get them back up. But I've never received a copyright strike in 1,100 videos. So it's crazy. You only subbed once a long time ago. Okay, I believe you. I just don't. I guess I must miss it. Like sometimes maybe I have highway hypnosis, so I apologize. I felt like you unsubbed. It hurt. It hurt, man. It was like, oh man, it really did. I was like, oh. That really wasn't. It felt like the floor dropped out from under me because, there's subscribers that come and they go, and some people like will watch you for 1 second and think you're great, and then unsub from you. But it's different. With let me just tell you something. Belinda here has helped me so much, starting with like The Expanse, and I think it goes back to like Man in the High Castle and stuff like that, where she really helped get me noticed a little bit. And she's one of the people that I owe a lot to. Let's see, Paul Green, finally. Hi, Rob, big thumbs up. Yeah, Paul, we finally got it working. I know you were here before. I know you and Desi and Belinda were all here. I saw you in the chat, but I couldn't do anything about it until I figured out how to get rid of all of it and then try to get this back up. I'm still there, public. Okay, then I must have convenient blackouts or something, or like somehow my 20/20 vision goes like from 20/20 to like 0. Desiree says, "Nah, you didn't. That's funny." Yep. My little sister is let's see, how old is she? If I'm blank, then she's like 38, 39. And Desiree is Rob's sister, low key. Yeah, we just, we keep it real on the down low. Several states away. DJ says, only time I'll unsub if you turn out a racist. I don't like racists. Well, don't worry about that, man. You don't have to worry about that, man. I ain't no racist. There's a lot of racists in this town. Believe me, it's very hard to live here sometimes, especially when you hear what people can come out of their mouths. It's one of the reasons why I'm glad I don't have to go to bars anymore, because, man, when people get to drinking around this area, whoo, boy. Let me tell you something. Trump didn't win Illinois, but he definitely won the town I live in. Belinda says, I'm sorry, you must have misunderstood me. Yeah, no, I think that whole thing was just a big misunderstanding. And there's other people that aren't here. I wish Gino was here right now. I know Gino's busy. If I could right now, I'm doing this because Gino's a big dude. If you guys know who Gino Reynolds is, I know Paul does. I know Desiree does. I want to give Gino a big hug because you have to. All right. For those of you who have not seen Gino in real life, Gino towers over me. It is literally like I love standing next to him because it's just sharp contrast. But Gino is one of the best dudes around. He does a lot for small YouTubers. And after a lot of correspondence and stuff, we finally got to work together. If you haven't seen our videos, you can find them on the playlists in the backlogs. I did 3 on his channel. He did 3 on mine. Or on my channel, we talked about Tarantino movies and Marvel stuff. And the best and worst, I think, of 2019 so far. And then on his, we did like a Stranger Things thing. We did a Good Boys, like a la Miss... midnight screenings like Brad Jones does on his channel, except during the day. We did that. We did a few other videos, but it was such a blast, and I can't wait to work with him again. But he has been, I feel like him and me have been like looking at each other's videos and seeing what we can do better, and constantly not one up each other, but just I'll see something that he does and I'll be like, well, what can I do about that? Like, what's the next step for me? And I think that sometimes, and I'm not going to assume for sure that he does, but I feel like we we both kind of challenge each other a little bit to step up our games a lot in our videos and challenge and try to see and try new things, more experimentation and stuff. Gino's here. Can't stay, gotta sleep. Congrats. Okay, man. I'm hugging you right now. I'm hugging this camera. Thank you, Gino. Thank you so much. He showed up. Yay! It's like we were psychically linked there for a second. So I owe him like huge thanks. Another person, he's not here right now, and maybe I'll psychically get a hold of him then too. Or maybe Gina was here and he just didn't say anything. But I owe a lot to Darren Jakes over at D's Reviews. I know a lot of you probably also know who D is. D, he works out in California. He's a great dude. Literally, he's like my Jeff Lebowski, man. He's the dude out there. We've worked together with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We correspond quite a bit. He has been an inspiration to me. I was watching his stuff while whenever I would, on my downtime at work, I was constantly watching all of his videos and looking at his backlog. And just his energy was something that I felt like I wanted to have that kind of energy when I made my videos. And he, in the deep dives, it was the same kind of way that I wanted to do them. And he's just such a great guy and so positive. I could never, if I could have like 1/10 of his energy and sincerity and kindness and love, like I think we probably got about the same amount of love for what we talk about, but he inspires me every time. I don't watch all of his videos because I haven't watched some of the stuff that he puts out or the shows that have been out. I can't wait to watch him so I can catch up on his videos. Like he's doing Mr. Robot right now. He did Legion and Preacher. He's doing Walking Dead right now, which I don't watch anymore, but I watch his reviews of it just to like kind of, that way I don't have to watch the show. I can watch his reviews. So if you haven't checked out D's Reviews, man, go to D's Reviews, man. He is such a great person. And he doesn't overdo it. He just does a few things a week. Let me get back to you on this. DJ Crystal Clear still waiting for his A Million Ways to Die in the West. You know what, man? Is that on here? Is A Million Ways to Die in the West on here? Let's find out. No. I mean, hey, it's just live. A Million Ways to Die in the West. Well, it's not the review, but it'll be like some clips from it. I do think the cast from that movie is really good. You got Liam Neeson, Neil Patrick Harris, the very talented and very ba boom Amanda Seyfried. You got, of course, Seth MacFarlane and Giovanni Ribisi, who's always great and everything. Real Gino said that. Romero zombie films may be low budget, but I love his movies. Yeah. I don't know what that, yeah. No, George Romero, man. He's a pioneer. Desiree says, Gino is the bestest teddy bear. Would love to meet him, but my fear of planes keeps me grounded. You both are great dudes. Thank you so much, Desiree. Would you ever review a horror movie on your show, says Paul? Yeah, I have. I mean, it depends on what you mean by horror movie. I did the Haunting of Hill House whole show. I reviewed that zombie show, a movie from France. I believe it was from France. I can't. The name escapes me right now. But yeah, I like someday I want to do The Thing or It Follows, stuff like that. And if it's good, like I will review anything as long as it's good and well written. But for me, horror, like real horror movies, like are the stuff that feels like really could happen. So like Jason and like Michael Myers and stuff, that to me is a joke. It's not scary. Like horror is supposed to be horrifying, not like I shouldn't be laughing at the same time. But yeah, absolutely, man. I would absolutely. You know what's good? Like right now, if we're going to talk about horror, is Castle Rock season 2 is like miles better than the first season of that show. DJ Crystal Clear says, I'm going grocery shopping tomorrow. I hate it and I love it. I like knowing what I want when I go, but I hate shopping. So whenever I go shopping, I have to know exactly where I'm getting and where I'm going to get it. And sometimes I'll pre-shop. So I'll fly through a store, like if I'm waiting to get paid or something, I'll pre-shop, zip through a place, go, that's where that is, that's where that is, that's where that is. And then when it's time to go shopping, I'll just get in and get out. And since I work in REITs, like in a place where I don't have to find a lot of this stuff, it's also really helpful. The only place that I ever go shopping that I will take my time at is the comic book shop. That's where I'll like all of a sudden I'm in my zone. Belinda D is such a nice guy. He absolutely is. Did I watch the Expanse trailer yet? Did I watch the Expanse trailer yet? I watched so much stuff. I thought I did. Or maybe I just like made that video for it. I have not, I don't think I have watched it yet. But the thing is like I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to go in so fresh. I know I saw something recently. I want to go in so fresh that everything is a surprise to me. Like Christmas morning, man. I don't celebrate Christmas. Never have. It's a whole Jehovah's Witness thing. So I never really got into Christmas. So like when The Expanse comes out on December 13th, that to me will be Christmas. And we, like I said, we're reviewing it that week. We're jamming it in there. We're fitting that in right away. And I'm getting behind. Wow, this is the first. Real Comic Book Stack says, I got to slide out, brother, and get my baby girl to sleep. Congratulations again. Can't wait to see you at 10,000. Keep grinding. We'll get there when we get there. Thank you so much for showing up, Stacks, even if you're not here anymore. If you waited around for me to say that. Seriously, Comic Book Stacks. I got to start sending you floppies, man. I keep forgetting. I did it that one time. And if you guys don't know what that means, it's like a new comic book day. You send a picture of your new comic books. So I'll keep doing that. I did Dog Soldiers. Yes, I did. Oh, yeah, Dog Soldiers is a horror movie. Check that on the channel, man. That's a good werewolf. That's like the best werewolf movie, in my opinion. Like, you can't, like, that's got so many good actors in it. It's got the best practical effects, man, since, like, seriously, since probably, like, around movies like The Thing and stuff. It is awesome. Dog Soldiers. If you have not seen it, check it out. I don't know if it's free still on Prime. It was. Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive. You know what, man? That movie is not good. It's so bad it's good. And I still just love that moment when the kid gets run over by the steamroller. I mean, I know that's pretty dark, but it's so great. Or like when when the soda can flies out and hits the guy in the face and kills him. That movie, that was like Stephen King, like when he was so coked up. But it's a brilliantly bad movie. It's great. You'll email it to me. Definitely, man. Definitely. Brown Town Review says, do more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. videos. Well, we are doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're on season 2. Episode 15 was just released. We're doing episode 16. Every Tuesday, Brown Town Reviews. That's when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is up. We got to keep to the schedule. We're going to get through it all. I did review season 6. And I reviewed like the first episode or 2 of season 5. I did not like season 5 very much. I like the back half more than I like the first half. But we're gonna re-review it all because I'm looking at it through different eyes. So I'm looking at it through sober eyes. So a lot of things that I didn't like or didn't give a chance are getting a better I'm getting a better view from me. So if you watch on Tuesdays, that's when we do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I haven't forgotten about that show. Bill Casey says a lot of horror franchises just slide into exploitation in the sequels before you know it. It's in space. Yep. I mean, that's the one. You know what I need to check out again that everybody always talks about is Event Horizon. I haven't seen that movie in a million years, it feels like. And everybody talks about how great it is. I remember when I saw it, I was kind of like, but maybe, like I said, again, I had been drinking pretty much from when I was 21 till I was in my late 30s. So maybe it's way better now. Don Roderick is here. Don is here. Rob just popping in to add my congrats. Way to go. Don Roderick is also a really, really important person to me. He inspires me every day. Just about every day. He's one of the few people in my real life that I can talk to about stuff. YouTube stuff, regular stuff, everything under the sun. So thank you, Don. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you so much. I can say it here a lot easier than we do in real life. But yeah, Don has gotten me through a lot of weird and crazy times. Let me tell you something. And he keeps me honest. He keeps me honest because that's what we value here at Smirking Gun Reviews is honesty. And he calls me out on my bullshit when I need it. And everybody needs that person, man. Everybody needs I'm not saying you're Jiminy Cricket, Don, but you're my Jiminy Cricket in a lot of ways. You're my conscience. Like just sometimes when I need to get pulled back from the ledge, because we all know I can get on those rants and stuff and just like slide down the rabbit hole. He's the guy that can pull me out of it a lot of times. So thank you so much. Desiree says, I've always been hoping to have someone spread the word of one of my fave movies, Boonraku. Josh Hartnett, Ron Perlman, Demi Moore, Woody Harrelson are all in it. No one has seen it but me, apparently. Boonraku. You know what? The name sounds really familiar, and I better write it down. Hang on. All right. Well, we've been looking at okay. I've seen pictures of this. I know I've seen pictures of this. And I'm writing it down so I don't forget. So if anybody else wants to see what she's talking about, here it is behind me. I don't know if I've seen this or not. It's something I feel like I know I've seen the pictures of it before. I like everybody that you just said a lot. So yeah, this will be a preview for that, and maybe I'll check that out. I'll try to make some time to figure out. You know what it makes me think of is Snowpiercer, where you've got all these like really big American actors in a Korean movie. I don't know if that's where it's from, but I will check this out, Desiree. Mark my words. Bill says it becomes GOM. I don't know what that means, but I trust you. Belinda says I should really watch the new trailer for The Expanse. Like I said, I try to stay away from a lot of trailers these days because I don't want things spoiled for me. Like the way my memory works, I'll be able to like tell when something's coming. Like recently, I reviewed something and I was just like, I think it was last night with His Dark Materials, and I remembered the trailer from a week ago. I'm like, oh well, this is going to happen because I can tell where this is going, and it's this far into the show. So it's so hard to surprise me, and I extrapolate things and figure them out like a puzzle, so that if you hear a joke from a comedy and you see it in the movie and you pretend to laugh when you hear it in the movie and you're like, ha ha ha, you can only laugh once genuinely at a joke. And so I try to go into movies mostly clean, completely no spoilers in my head. Like nothing has been seen. Maybe I'll watch it. I'm not going to put it on here because I could, but I'm not going to put it on here. Jim John, congrats on 1,000 subs. Thank you, Jim John. Appreciate it very much. Please. If that's about the Shield videos, man, we're still doing them. DJ Crystal Clear says, I'm 27 years old and it's a classic. You're talking about Maximum Overdrive. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. Browntown Review says, Hail Hydra. Loved your Shield vids. I have a love-hate relationship with season 5. See, that's the thing. So do I. Okay. Let's do a live trailer reaction right now. Like, we get all these bonus stuff. We get bonus stuff here. Oh, wow. Bone Row Expanse. I thought it would get, there we go. Boo, 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 boo. One day ago. Okay, live trailer reaction, everybody. Except you guys can't hear it. God, I love her voice. What the hell is that? Protomolecule tech? Whoa. Oh, man, what's her name? I love her. Ah. Ah! Ah! Ooh. Ooh. Someday you and I are going to end up bloody. I'm free right now. Oh, shit. All right. Well, I don't usually do trailer reactions and I don't usually react like that. But when I saw Miller, I couldn't help it, man. Thomas Jane. Everything. I liked everything about that. I liked everything about that. All right. Let's get back to Jesus Christ. What the hell is that? Seriously? Like, you have none of my music saved in here? There we go. All right. So that was really cool. I'm glad I watched it. Love-hate relationship, though, with season 5. Yeah. The freaking Star Trek villains, man. Like I Star Trek villains should look like Star Trek villains, and Agents of Shield villains should look like Agents of Shield villains. And I hated those guys so much. I hated that storyline so much. Then Belinda says, "I'm a big Event Horizons fan." Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch that. I guess I'm gonna hear almost every like. You're important to me, DJ. Absolutely. I just what do you want me to say? I put out A Million Ways to Die in the West behind you for me for a while. Oh, wow. Don says I'm giving him a lot of credit. I thought you were just popping in. You stuck around to hear your compliments, though, didn't you? Evie, nice job, man. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Desiree says Bunraku's got a strong comic book video game vibe, cause a lot of the style is based on the Japanese theater style called Bunraku that uses paper and shadows to create the plays. It's a samurai western. Is that kind of like when you say Paper and Shadows? Is that kind of like Kubo and the Two Strings kind of thing? I don't know. That movie was tight. DJ says he's gonna steal my PlayStation headset. Man, yeah, good luck with that one. You're gonna have to come in the middle of the night, take it off my head, and I'm a light sleeper, boy. Stacy Payton 8 says, congrats, wishing you many more. You just popped up on my suggestions by algorithm, I guess. Well, I'll tell you this. My videos, here's a little thing. I don't care about analytics, but an interesting one is that my viewership as far as time has gone up 163%. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good number. So I think with all the stuff and all the support and everything and the push that my channel's been getting a little bit lately, as raw as my channel looks, as raw as I can be, because I don't pull any punches. I mean, if I feel it's, I try not to be too vulgar all the time, but like if it's necessary, it's coming out. But I feel like, you get enough notice. Like I think the analytics tell you, like if you're going up 163%, I think you're getting a little bit more notice. I think some people that just like, if they're always getting 1 million views, I don't think that changes their stats, right? It just means that they're just at always their level. I think if the algorithm notices a huge jump, maybe I'm wrong about this, but maybe that's why you get a little bit more notice. So thank you so much for stopping in. Stacy Payton, I appreciate it. Check out all the playlists. We got tons of stuff on the channel, not just comics, but we got tons of TV shows. There's movie reviews on here, even though I don't review as many movies as I do shows, mostly because it's hard to get out to the movies when I work 40 hours a week and then come home and try to make content. With streaming services having just kind of a lot of stuff, and you can get HBO and everything at home. And to be quite honest with you, 95% of what's at the theater, if it's not like a Marvel movie that I want to see or something, I usually just wait for Blu-ray, because most of it, what's out there right now, is just complete crap to me. Not that there's not plenty of crap on TV or streaming services, but at home I can just turn it off. I don't have to go out to the theater and pay money for something that I might not like. And 99% of the time when I see a trailer, if I see a trailer, or if I hear about a movie and I take a look at it, or whatever, however I choose to consume the information on it, I usually can make up my mind pretty easy whether or not I'm going to see it or not, or wait to see it on Blu-ray or not see it at all. And when you've seen as many things as I have, it's kind of hard to I'm not usually wrong about how I will feel about it. So I know we're getting a little bit of a buffering problem here, but that's all right. Yeah, I think you guys can still hear me now. That trailer does look amazing, Belinda. I don't review Teen Titans, Paul says. No, not a lot of Teen Titans, no. I don't review any Teen Titans. I've never been a fan of the Teen Titans. Even when I was collecting back in the 90s, I was not a big Teen Titans fan. It's just that they just feel like it's the sidekicks. And I know that they're more than just sidekicks, but I do like Young Justice. I do like Young Justice a lot. But trying to fit in the reviews for everything when you're trying to keep on a schedule. So it's not like I won't get around to things. It's just going to take a while. Like I was on Disney Plus today looking at all the Marvel shows that are on there, because other than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I do more DC stuff. I do Batman the Animated Series. I do Doom Patrol. And I was trying to think what would be the next thing for me to do for Marvel, because I did X-Men the Animated Series, the Phoenix Saga. I need to go back and do all the X-Men episodes. I want to do Avengers as well. I want to do Spider-Man as well. There's so much to absorb, but I have to wait till one thing is done and then move on to the next thing. So, and then there's a few things like The Expanse and Better Call Saul that will always get priority over other things, or I'll figure out a way to get them into the channel to review them, especially Better Call Saul and The Expanse, man. There's no way I'm not reviewing them. DJ Crystal Clear says, I'm just your friendly stream comedian. I slept through a fire alarm noise. Yeah. Skip and Tosh is here. Holy crap. Skip, how are you? And woo, congrats. Thank you so much, Skip. I'm to be, hey guys, all right. Here's one of the people I was talking about, Skip and Tosh, who does, he does work with Wes from Thinking Critical on his comics channel. They do Outside the Bleed. And I was just on there on the channel doing the Adamantium Hour. These are the people that have recently been completely inspiring me and have gotten me to where I needed to be mentally, and how focused I've become, and gave me my confidence back, because as I was reviewing comics and checking out other people's stuff and sharing my opinions with these people, they were so welcoming, and now that I've been able to work and be on their, do some of their stuff, I owe a lot to these guys, man. Honestly, this last push has been so much because of that. And I promised myself I'm not gonna cry, but I am getting a little emotional here. I can feel it. Like Skip and Wes and Chase and Doc and all them on there, man. Ash, Comic Stacks, even the guy that I've never met, Pele. All these guys have been so instrumental in getting me back. They didn't know it at the time, but it was so important. And I'm so honored to have you here, Skip. Even if it's not, even if you can't stay or whatever, it's so great. And yeah, where Pan's Labyrinth is playing behind me, because it's 46 and 2 by Tool. Stacy Payton 8 says, "Gotcha, nice." Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely check some stuff out. Desiree says, yeah, sort of like that. If you see Bunraku, you don't. So it is like Kubo and the Two Strings a little bit. Okay. But I mean, when you say paper and stuff, pretty much all the scenery in the film is paper, and they use a lot of lighting and colors to create a mood. So yeah, kind of like that. You know what else I really liked that I haven't seen in a long time is The Man with the Iron Fists. Is that what it was called? With the RZA and Russell Crowe. DJ Crystal Clear, is Deadpool on Disney Plus? Yeah. I think he's on that one episode of Ultimate Spider-Man. And if they still have Hulk versus Wolverine on Netflix, he's in that. That's where Nolan North is Deadpool. If you haven't seen Deadpool done by Nolan North, it's amazing. Yeah, Deadpool, man, that's going to be the most amazing to see how much Disney will be. I'm really hoping that they just say, you know what, we're just gonna collect the checks on that. You know what I mean? That's what Disney needs to do with Deadpool. Is just sit back and let them do their thing and just collect the money, and they will find out if they do it like that, how many possibilities there are money wise. And you'll see another R-rated Wolverine movie at some point too. Billy Casey says having a lot of things to review is a good problem to have. Yeah, no, it really is. It's a good problem, but it's mind-boggling, because I know you guys have seen my I Want to Believe poster in the background, and then we got my Breaking Bad posters over there. If you think that I'm not chomping at the bit to go back and review X-Files and Breaking Bad, and even like Lost, I would love to go back and review Lost. It's just a matter of again, finding the time to get through one thing and be committed to sticking to it. And finishing off, there's other properties that I want to touch too. I want to do more. I hope DC comes out with some more new stuff for DC Universe. I hope that the Marvel shows are going to be on Disney Plus. We're definitely reviewing those. So there's so much to do, and if I have to make more time and double up and just take some more time off to where I would normally do something else without subtracting anything from the channel, because let's face it, okay, you guys, I don't have a social life. It's one of the things, it's the only benefit of not having a wife or kids or anything, is that I get to enjoy the things I enjoy on my own time. And that's pretty much all the time, as long as I'm not at work. And even at work sometimes, on my breaks, I'll catch up on things in my lunch break. Skip says, happy to be here. Happy to see you shine, brother. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Sorry. DJ Crystal Clear says, I have been looking for Metallica and AC/DC pop figures. I bet you can find those. I don't know. Like, have you checked eBay? I would check eBay and even Amazon, man. Amazon has a ton of pop figures. Skipitosh, that means a lot. Means more than anything else. More than money. Love is important. Much love, brother. I wish you more joy in your life and channel. Hey, man. I just call like I see him. You guys are the best guys, man. I'm not a man's man, if you know what I mean. Like I've not been a guy who's been surrounded by other guys, or sought it out in my entire life. And I'm just thinking of this now that I'm suddenly having a lot of correspondence with a lot of male people that I actually want to be around and want to talk to and want to correspond. And not just because we like the same things, because I've found out that you guys are genuinely good people. And, hopefully it's kind of changing the way I've been around other guys. In fact, I've been giving, so I don't know. You guys have been a good influence on me. Okay, what's going on here? Gotta catch up. Way too far. Belinda R says, ooh, Pan's Labyrinth is on the background. Such a gorgeous story. Yeah, man. Pan's Labyrinth is crazy. And you can see why Kojima wanted Guillermo del Toro to work with him on stuff. And now how he's in Death Stranding, playing a guy named Deadman. It's just a match made in heaven, man. It's really great. Took Us awesome. Seen them many times. Tool is awesome. Yeah, you've seen them many times. You're lucky. I missed. They were just here, and I get so distracted with other things that I forgot to get to. I told myself I was going this time because they make an album like once every frickin' blue moon. Well, that's not even true. That's you see a blue moon before you see a Tool album. That's a meme. But whenever they put out an album, it's like, oh man. DJ Crystal Clear, where's your Family Guy posters? Family Guy posters, don't have them. I still occasionally watch Family Guy. In fact, I was one of those people that advocated bringing it back a long time ago. When those DVDs came out and everybody was talking about it, I was like, everybody needs to buy this stuff because it's the same thing that happened with Futurama, where the DVD sales went through the roof and they brought it back. And I remember when the movie came out, that was once they aired it on TV, but it didn't have the movie premiere stuff. We had a whole huge Family Guy party, a drinking party. We had these glasses that had the Family Guy drinking game on it. And man, were we hammered so fast that we didn't even get to really watch the movie. And I've watched it. I still watch it occasionally. I think it's gotten a little tired. Not as tired as The Simpsons, even though much love for The Simpsons still, man. I mean, they're still going. I don't really watch The Simpsons anymore, but I respect the hell out of it. Same with South Park. Not every South Park's a home run, but it's still better than a lot of other stuff. And Rick and Morty. I mean, have you guys seen the newest Rick and Morty? Holy crap. That's just some crazy stuff, man. The fight for a man in his toilet and a friend he didn't know he wanted. Amazing stuff on that. Desiree Garcia says, I really hope you like it. If you check it out, the artistry of Bunraku is great, even though the story itself isn't something unique, but the film even acknowledged that, but in a poetic kind of way. No, you've got me. You've got me, man. I wrote it down. I even wrote it on my wireless headset. I don't know if you can see it. Bunraku. All right. It's going in the list. I might watch that. I've got to record my crime story review tomorrow, which will free up my Thursday. I've got comic reviews tomorrow too. So hopefully Thursday, or you know what? Friday when I'm off, and I'll have done everything for the week. I will check out Bunraku on Friday. Promise. promise I will check it out. And then if I can, I will get out a video that same day. I'm not going to I'm going to promise to watch it. I can't promise that I'll have the review up on Friday, but I will check it out for sure. Okay. And yes, you know what, while we're at it, yeah. So DJ Crystal Clear, I'll get off my back about it. I'll try to watch A Million Days to Die in the West on Friday too. I'll try to watch the whole thing because I've only seen like part of it. Skipitash says, I love a Pink Floyd. Good reference. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, and unfortunately, it was a terrible rendition. But you got to let your freak flag fly, and even if you can't sing "We're the Damn," just say it anyway. I could never do reviews, says Desiree, even if I'm pretty dang yappy. I hate the sound of my voice. I'm 29 and I sound like a freaking kid, so it's admirable you do it. Look, I didn't just grow this beard so that I could look like Cap from Infinity War in a way, and I know that's just a joke. Except if you guys seen my picture on my YouTube channel, it's me dressed as Captain America with the beard because I wanted to be Cap from Infinity War. I was just imagining. I still think Cap should have had the beard in Endgame. I'm sorry, because you walk around right now, what does Chris Evans look like? He's got a freaking beard. So they made him shave it for Endgame because they wanted it to be like a throwback or whatever. But it's what it doesn't. I am not I'm not Brad. I always say I'm not Brad Pitt. Like nobody is but Brad Pitt. You can only be yourself. And I used to refuse to have pictures taken of me. My last school picture was junior year. And it was this. I was making this face in the camera. I had a black turtleneck on for my junior year, and I was like this. It's not doing it right. I needed to there we go. Come on. Come on. Let's get there. Let's stop buffering. All right. This is how I looked. But 15, 16-year-old. No smile, no nothing. No, I didn't even show up for my senior year picture. And every other time somebody would try to take a picture of me or get me on video, it was like, the Bigfoot pictures, the Bigfoot film reel where you just see him walking away. This is me in every picture of at a party, booking out of the way. And I just kind of had to get over it. And now that I do it, and I hear how I talk sometimes, like when you hear yourself recorded on a your voice on if you've ever sung or something, and you hear your voice singing back, and you're like, oh my God, is that what I sound like? You just gotta I don't have a lot of confidence in myself, but somehow I managed to do this. And if you just can find your voice, if you find something that you want to talk about and you just get it out there, you find that it becomes easier every single time you do it. To now where it's just I don't even think about it. And I have a just younger sister that I haven't seen in a while, and she doesn't know that I do this. But I'm telling you right now, when she finds out that I do this, she will go be like, you're a liar. She will have to see it for herself, because there's no way she would believe straight out that I do this because of how I didn't like anybody to see me or hear me or was too shy to do something like this. So yeah, just find your voice. If you've got something to say it, because you don't want to wake up someday and realize that there was a whole bunch of things you wanted to say and you didn't, and you can't now. I don't know. Don't want to get a little too, that's one to grow on, Where's the rainbow? So yeah, man, just do that. If you can't, that you can't, but whatever. Trying to find my place here. Jack Yo? Hey, how you doing, Jack Yo? You ever watched Tales of the Gold Monkey? No, but it sounds familiar. It really does. Put more about that in the comment section. DJ Crystal Clear, RATM and Wu-Tang Clan touring together. Man, cash moves everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Oh, man, I love that shit. Desiree Garcia says, where I work, we get those pops in regularly, while AC/DC, pretty sure Metallica is already being pulled from production. So whoever that was that, who was it that wanted those? Was that DJ? Or was that Paul? I can't remember. DJ says, will they ever have a Family Guy live action movie? God, I hope not. But I mean, come on. If it's something that'll probably happen when we're like, when I'm like way older, or maybe he should just do an episode that like that. He's got all the money in the world, man. He can just cast it and do it. Why not? I think that's a definite possibility. Desiree says, when we got the new Tool album at work, took all the 45 minutes to sell out. We had a huge line and it kept selling out each time we got it back in stock for several weeks after. Freaking yeah, man. Tool, I love A Perfect Circle too, man. The 13th Step is one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life. I love that album so much. And I had never heard of them before. And somebody turned me onto them and I was just like I was flabbergasted. And when Inema came out, or however you say it, man, I went through probably 2 CDs. I listened to that so much. DJ Crystal Clear says, when new Tool album drops, Dr. Dre drops Detox. Yeah. Paul Green says, hope Netflix and Nickelodeon start a stream. Ren and Stimpy, love your comic reviews. Thank you so much about the comic reviews. I just want, I love classic Ren and Stimpy, but I don't know if they could ever recapture that. That's like when they tried to redo Beavis and Butthead. Didn't they try to redo Beavis and Butthead recently? Or that's probably some kind of half remembered acid trip dream that I had. But it's like all that stuff, man, they just can't recapture the magic. I'm also realizing that a lot of things didn't run as long as I thought. Like when you think something when you're younger and you have this like attachment to it, and you have such a strong attachment, and you go back years later, and I'm like, wow, Alf was only on for 2 seasons. It felt like such a big deal, like a big part of my life, and it was really just a couple of years. But we hold on to those feelings about that kind of stuff. It's crazy. Same thing with like Ren and Stimpy. There really aren't that many episodes, but it feels like it was such a big thing at the time that it felt like a longer experience. You know what I'm saying? Belinda R says, gotta go. Have a fantastic evening. Everyone, really happy for you, Rob. Wishing you the best and continued success. I'm sorry if I didn't get to you before you left, Belinda. This is actually kind of strange for me to have this many, to actually have to try to keep up. I feel like Gino again, and Gino just tries to keep up. DJ says, first time I saw Brad Pitt was Snatch. Yeah, that movie's awesome. First time I saw Brad Pitt was in True Romance. If you have not seen True Romance, you got to get on that shit. Okay, that's one of the most amazing casts. A Quentin Tarantino script, directed by Tony Scott. Gary Oldman as a drug dealer who thinks he's like, oh my gosh, man, Gary Oldman. He's only in like one scene. Christopher Walken is only in that movie for one scene with Dennis Hopper, and it is one of the most classic scenes of all time. Oh my gosh. That whole thing. It's got Val Kilmer as Elvis in that movie. Seriously, Kristen Slater, Patricia Arquette when Patricia Arquette was like, we're talking 1993 Patricia Arquette, you guys. It had so many great people in it. Ash on Comics. Hey, Ash, how's it going, man? Congrats on the milestone, man. No, thank you for showing up here and like privileging me with your presence. And that's not sarcasm. Yeah, I appreciate it so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ash is another one of those people, man, that has really inspired me. I love everybody that does the comics that I watch has such varied opinions, and they all get along. Or at least they pretend to get along. They get along. They seem to all really like each other, even if they disagree. And that is one of the best kinds of communities that you could ever be a part of, is having that many opinions and still being able to walk away from a conversation and be like, yeah, have a great day. You know what I mean? Like, oh, so thanks for being here, Ash. Paul Green says, hope Netflix and Nickelodeon start and stream. Love your comic reviews and more X-Men comics. Well, X-Men comics this week are Excalibur #2 and Fallen Angels Marauders #2. So there'll be 2 X-Men reviews coming out tomorrow. Wow, this thing is jumping all over the place. But Netflix and Nickelodeon, well, Nickelodeon is probably going to have its own thing pretty soon. Gateway into Comics. Chase from Gateway into Comics. The king of like I love it because he's like, I think he's like me in a way about, like, we were talking about foreshadowing and stuff, and he's got that kind of brain, and I love that. The person who's planning and thinking about things like 9 moves down the road. That's how I feel like when I watch one of Gateway into Comics videos. Go to Gateway into Comics, go to Ash on Comics, and like Real Comic Stacks, all those guys, man. Like their stuff, follow them on Twitter. Seriously, if you like comic books, go there now after this stream, of course. Or, you can go and come back. We're doing this live. I don't know how long I'm going to keep going. But he says, I hate my own voice. I can't watch my own videos. Does that make me weird that I watch my own videos? I do it just to make sure that they're good, or at least I think they're like I said, I'm that person who, like, for so many years just hid, and now that I've come out of my shell, I don't like I'm like do you ever like watch Bob's Burgers and you can just hear the guy laugh at his own stuff? Like I'm doing right now. With the guy who plays Bob, is like he'll just laugh. You can hear that I don't think that's scripted. But I laugh at my own stuff sometimes because a lot of times I don't realize what I'm going to say until I say it, and so it takes me off guard and I'll laugh, kind of like I'm still doing. But I just got over all that stuff, and I don't know what changed. If it was just the desire to just say screw it and put myself out there, but like I said, man, if I can do it, seriously, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You just gotta, and believe me, it's not, the hardest part is getting all the technical stuff right and working on all this stuff and just making the videos in general. That's been the hard part. Being able to talk about things is the easy part for me. And now that I've gotten so many great people to check out the channel, we have like a great connection. And now I know so many people by name. Like he's not here. If he's here, he's not saying anything. But Designs R Us was here, a subscriber of mine, and he subscribed so long ago. And it's like somebody an old friend coming home. When he puts his name on something, I'm like, when it just. I don't know, I don't know how else to explain it. It's such a great feeling when you've got this many people that all seem to share the same common goals and well, not goals, but I don't know. I'm getting a little. I better move on to the next thing. Skip and Touch says, I used to hate pics of myself too. I still don't take a lot of selfies. When I got divorced, I kind of had to for online dating, but I've always been behind the camera. Didn't have confidence. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I have the confidence to do this, but I don't have the confidence to do other things. I still like have moments where I'll do something and then it's why I have to look at my stuff to make sure I didn't mess it up too bad. It's why I deleted a lot of old videos, not just because the audio was bad, because I knew that I was drunk in a lot of them. And I didn't want to, I didn't want people to like in the future see that side of me, that kind of thing. And I noticed that people, some people just don't want to show themselves, but they want to talk about things. And you can do that too. There are a lot of people that, that just do vlogs that just put a symbol up, and there's some people that hide their faces and wear masks, and that's their own thing too. Come up with your own gimmick. But there's people out there, you know, that like if like there's a guy like Samuel One World, right? He's this real sweet kid, and you know he'd be one of those people that like if you watch his stuff, that kid's putting himself out there, man. He's he's a little different. I don't want to speak for him, you know, but you see somebody like that who's putting himself out there, and trust me, like if you just put that kind of thing in perspective with somebody who's got challenges, like real challenges and stuff, you can tell, you know, um, it makes me go, well, if that guy can do it, man, like, you know, then what's my excuse? So I don't know. Again, it's all about just finding your voice and just saying screw it. And like I said, I still go. I'd been going in the past 2 years while I was making a go of this. It's been so many. There's been so many confidence ups and downs. And like I said, back in September, when I had my confidence shattered, and it wasn't about being in front of the camera. It was about suddenly. It wasn't about being in front of the camera. It's about what was coming out of my mouth, and I had like my whole like voice feel like it went away. And that's when I had to refine my voice through comics. I've been reading comics again since 2016, but I had stopped reviewing comics for a long time because I was so caught up in other things and always trying to like, you know, get ahead of like other things and try to be faster at making videos and blah blah blah, that I got so far behind in my comics that when I finally caught up and everything else and got back into it, it was the most important thing, man. But I feel like I'm going in circles on that point. And I'm getting behind. DJ says, Paul, your name is green, so is your YouTube avatar what a quiescence is? Ash and Skip. Yep, Real Comic Stacks has noticed that Ash and Skip are here. Skip says, now I don't give a damn. LOL, I've accepted myself. Love how I sound, love how I look, not false, just true acceptance, because like you said, some never did accept themselves and now ain't alive. Yeah, hashtag live and love now. Yep. Stacks with the facts. Ash in the house. Ex-pals for life. Gateway says, 13th Step is my favorite by them. Yep. I mean, when you get to Counting Bodies Like Sheep, I know that's not the title of it, but like on their second one, it's called like that's what I think the best title of a song of all time. Counting Bodies Like Sheep to the Rhythm of the War Drums. When the first time I heard that song, that changed my life. It's just so good. It's like a nightmare lullaby. Oh. Chase you, let's go. Lateralist is my favorite Tool album. Yeah. I you know what, picking Tool albums though, like I can say the 13th Step is my favorite Perfect Circle album, but picking a Tool album is like choosing my kids, like my fake kids, my theoretical kids. Okay, I don't have real kids to choose from, but so I have my pop culture to choose from, and this musically, it's like trying to choose my music children, like albums. Like I think like other bands, it's much easier. Like I could tell you what my favorite Pearl Jam album is, or my favorite Beastie Boys album is, but when it comes to Tool, it's much harder. Later Laos. Lateralist. Yeah. Hey guys, it's Skip and Tash and Ash on Comics. Skip and Tash Lateralist is my favorite, sure, but I like OG stuff. Prison Sex is a dope song still. Yeah, man. That's a. It's. I didn't appreciate Tool when they first came out. I liked them all right, but there was these guys. It was the guys that were listening to them that like kind of weirded me out, because we're talking like mid '90s, and these guys got me into like Bad Religion and Tool, and oh gosh, who's the other ones? There were a few other ones out there like Rancid, things like that. Jackio says Tales of the Gold Monkey, 80s TV show, predates Raiders of the Lost Ark. Very similar, loads of pulp fun. Check it out. Check intro on YouTube. All right, I wrote down Bunraku. Now I'm writing down. I know I've heard of it. Tales of the Gold Monkey. The Gold Monkey. Realist Comic Stacks and Chase aficionados representing. Yeah, I've talked to Wes about the comic aficionados thing. I want to be on Comics Aficionados. Unfortunately, I work every Saturday and I start at 10, and that usually comes on at 9. So I'd have to, I told him I'll request off a day of work or switch a day off or something if I can get on Comics Aficionados with you guys, because that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Adamantium Hour was one of the most fun I've had. When I was on it, though, if you guys thought I was being too quiet, it's because I learned from other doing a few other live streams with people how easy it is to start talking over each other. And so I just kind of was like waiting for my turn to talk. Even though it's like when it was my turn to talk, I suddenly I felt like I was exploding. Where it's like, Kid Cable's got to die. We got to get rid of Kid Cable. So it's like you hold it all in and then it just kind of comes out. Although I did want to talk about when we were talking about the artwork, I like the New Mutants art, man. I really do. I really liked it a lot. I hear what they were saying about not really having much movement, but I thought New Mutants had a lot of movement. And the stuff with like Krakoa and Mondo, how they were drawing Mondo and like how they were putting the flower inside him and everything. Even though it looks like Sienkiewicz's work, I didn't mind that. I don't know. Every book does look different. And I really enjoyed New Mutants. And Marauders art I thought were the worst to me. But anyway, Alf was only 2 seasons. Whoa, yeah, it really is. And then it ends on that crazy cliffhanger. Now, that's something that needs to happen, right? We reboot everything or we do things over again. They need to do an Alf return, man. What happened to Alf after he left? Because he was like hauled away by the cops, I think, or by the FBI. Do a flash forward where like the remaining members of the family finally find Alf. Something like that, man. You know, that would just play hardcore. Even if it's like a YouTube show, I don't care. Bring Alf back for like a special return. Give the audience that was back live back then watching Alf the closure that we need for Alf. Because I remember that just sucking. It's like the end of Mork and Mindy, when Mork and Mindy just end up like in a void. Like you don't know what happened to them. They're just gone. Like they didn't get a proper ending too. And we can't get a proper ending to Mork and Mindy now either, can we? So let's not wait to get an Alf one back. And I don't like now. I just realized that just bummed me out when I realized we really can't get a Mork and Mindy reunion because Robin's dead. Damn it. Skip says, "Yep, we in here repping and showing love for the homie Rob." Now I'm gonna blush. Desiree Garcia says, "I have no problem talking at work. I talk way too dang much, but doing vids feel different somehow, even though I can just blab in forever in any other situation. It's weird." You just kind of think of it like that. Because when I was talking on Adamantium Hour and prepping or pimping out the show or the channel, I said, I try to think of it as like I'm talking to a friend. Like I'm having a conversation with somebody that's sitting across from me. And whether it's one person or 100 or 1,000,000, I try to just imagine just talking to you guys like we're right in the same room together. Because I think a lot of people when you stick too much to the script, you kind of lose your what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, it you know what I mean? It's just like it's just more real that way. So it's just kind of like, even though except on here, when I do a regular video, it's like I'm talking to myself, but I just imagine that I'm talking to anybody that wants to and loves or whatever wants to hear what I have to say. When you talk too much, like, I don't know how to, like other people that do it more like a robot. like there's no heart in it. When it's more like a business, instead of like you can't really feel the love or the passion for the thing that they're talking about. You know, if I ever lose that, then I'm out of here. But no, it's not weird. No, like it's, here's the thing. I don't talk much at work. This is where I talk. I get to work and I shut the hell up. And I laser beam focus on what I'm supposed to do. And sometimes it gets like that so much that people purposely come up to me and try to start conversations about stuff that they know I like so that they'll know that I'm okay. So like if I've been quiet for a long time, somebody will say like, hey, Rob, why didn't you like The Last Jedi? And then I'll be like, oh. Oh yeah, I was gonna pick a different song here. What is it? Oh, here we go. Okay, so Skipper Test says True Romance is a Quentin script. That movie is legendary. Yeah, can you imagine if he actually directed that movie? Can you imagine? I mean, Tony did an incredible job, and it is what it is. But like, there's like a realm in my brain that goes. Same thing with like, what if he had directed Natural Born Killers? Natural Born Killers would be a way different movie because that was an Oliver Stone picture, and it has Oliver Stone's stamp all over it. But can you imagine if Quentin had done Natural Born Killers? Holy moly! The Real Comic Stack says, I remember waiting every Saturday night for Ren and Stimpy. Still love the log song and Powdered Toast Man and House of the Future. It's log, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's log, it's better than bad. It's good. Yeah, man, if you know Ren and Stimpy, you know the songs, man. Like, Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy, when it goes off on that crazy twist near the end where it's like, yeah, and the little creatures in nature, they don't know that they're ugly. You told me, I told you that I would shoot. Why didn't you believe me? It just goes nuts. Real Comic 6, Ren, I hate you, autocorrect. That's all right. Dude, autocorrect does suck. Skip says he forgot about log. Oh man, no man. Oh, that show is. You can't make shows like that anymore, or they should make shows like that anymore, but they don't. I mean, the closest thing that comes to anything that weird is still is Rick and Morty, and that's as nuts as that show is. You can't touch some of the insanity that came out of the 90s. Remember the head? That guy who had the like giant head on MTV, and it would crack open, and this demon would come out. And then you had stuff based on the comic books, like the Max, from Sam Keith. That was so good. It was so much like the freaking comic book. And that guy with I can't remember, Mr. Nobody or whatever was called, he was just so creepy. It was one of the creepiest shows. Even Aeon Flux, man, or Liquid Television. Oh, had some of the greatest stuff. Jack Yo says Primo Arquette. Yeah, if you listen to the commentary track on True Romance, when they get to the love scene and they're both naked pretty much, and they're like, oh, here it comes, and it's like, you can tell Patricia's a little uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's like, Patricia, man, look what you looked like in 1993. Like, what is it? Christian Slater says, or no, like when Dennis Hopper kisses her, and he's like, I'll be damned, she does taste like a peach. Skip says Rocco's Modern Life was my show. Yeah, did you watch the new thing on Netflix? Rocco is another great show because it was not as weird. It was weird and it had subversiveness to it, but it was more safe than Ren and Stimpy. It was such a great take on modern life of the 90s, like such a poking fun at everything. It was like, it wasn't talking down to kids. It was letting us like all see it like for what it is. And I think that's why I don't understand why the kids, like a lot of the kids that came out of my generation, like my generation had kids and they were supposed to be the ones that would be all like really cool and smart because we had all this cool knowledge and we were supposed to spread it to them. And it feels like so many people's kids though, that came out of my generation's kids or spawn of my generation's kids are just a bunch of little, they can't handle nothing. What did we do wrong? We were supposed to be like, now I'm like, I'm a little mad at myself for not having kids, because at this point in my life, I would have some of the most awesomely pop cultured kids in the entire world that are smart and know their way around the world and know how to navigate things without having to have a screen in front of them all the time. Where it's like, yeah, I'm doing this now. I have a tablet. I have another tablet else. But guess what? When I'm not doing this, I'm not on my tablets. I don't have my face in screens. I have my face in a hey man, it may not be like, Shakespeare, but I'm reading my books, I'm reading my comic books. I sit there, I pull up one of these, you know, instead of like sticking my face in a screen or whatever. I would have had some of the tightest ass kids. Real Comic Sack says, I hate that I love Ash so much. No, you don't. No, you don't. Skip says, yeah, we don't agree often, still love. If you asked you and your best friend 100 random questions, you would disagree more than you realize, but the things that unite are what keeps us together. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing, is like being able to find a group of people where you disagree with them and you don't make yourself change your opinion to match theirs. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there that when they comment and things like that, you feel like they're just regurgitating there's like, it's hard to tell about tones in a text and comments, but when you can figure out tones, you can figure out a lot of people are just kind of, they haven't found their voice, and they're just spitting out the same, like, your opinion. And that's one of the things that worries me about a lot of people that watch stuff, is because they haven't found their voice, they just agree with things that aren't necessarily very good. And it's really important for everybody to find their voice, so that you're just not blindly going along. Because that's what's great. What I was saying is that everybody can have these different opinions and still be friends. And that's something that's also missing these days, is being able to disagree and not let the whole world shatter around you. Like, oh my God, you didn't go see Charlie's Angels, you must be a sexist, kind of thing. It's like, no. Like having a different opinion. Like, no, I just didn't want to see it, without falling apart. Like, you can't say anything hardly anymore. And being able to find people that you can talk with. This is what this channel's really about. One of the things that this channel is really about is being able to come here, and even if you don't have the same opinion as me, or I completely disagree with you, I don't care. As long as you're respectful and you're making a valid point, then it's all good. You can say what you want, as long as it's not, like, as long as you're not bringing hate speech and stuff, or you're talking about how you want to have sex with a goat or something, like safe space for the most part. There's not enough of them on YouTube anymore. Like, I'm positive. I'm trying to stay positive on my channel, but I can be negative sometimes. But it's like it always comes from like a place of like trying to understand. You know what I mean? Out of frustration for something that, like, I'm trying to comprehend why something is sometimes. Paul says, love Rocco and Hey Arnold. Okay, that's okay. I don't, this is just me. I could never get into Hey Arnold. And Doug. Couldn't get into Doug either. I don't know what it is. I just think that they were too. I liked more imaginative stuff, and I felt like Doug and Hey Arnold were just kind of kids playing and stuff, and I was kind of a loner, so I didn't really understand like hanging out with other kids and stuff like in Hey Arnold they do. And so I liked X-Men the animated series, and I liked Batman, and I liked Spider-Man, and then Justice League and all that stuff. I watch my own. Skip says, I watch my own videos to learn what I can do better. I'm constructively critical. Go figure. No, that's another thing of what I do. Why I watch my own stuff is to see where I can tweak things and fix things and make them better. And like, I mean, I feel like every 6 months or so. I've been talking a lot. Pardon me, guys. I'm gonna take a. I know I don't have a cup. I didn't bring a cup down here, so I got to drink my Faygo orange right out of the tube. So. Mm-mm-mm. Fake orangey goodness. People ask me why I drink orange soda, and I hadn't drank any pop in like a long time. But I reviewed Joe versus the Volcano a while back, and they had all the tribes people that live on the Waponi Woo Island in Joe versus the Volcano all drank orange soda. And suddenly I was like, you know what? I haven't had an orange soda in a while. And ever since that movie, I've been drinking orange soda. But I need this because, man, I've been talking for an hour and a half all by myself. Skip says Wes always asks for criticism. That's why he's so good at what he does. He wants to get better genuinely. And he also says, hey, Arnold was dope too. I think it was because it might also have to do with like a generation gap thing, because by the time Hey Arnold and stuff was out, I was like 20. And so even though I was watching X-Men and Spider-Man, I mean, that's a comic book thing. Like, I'm going to like that no matter how old I am. But when you started getting like, the older I got, some of that stuff just got, I lost interest. I'm so glad that I didn't get it. Like Pokemon came out and I was not into that. Yu-Gi-Oh came out and I wasn't into that. And other things, but like Justice League comes out and then I'm like right back on board. No thanks. There we go. Here's my guys. When I used to have a videotape of Pearl Jam Unplugged, and my family, we were all strict Jehovah's Witnesses. And what they didn't know was I was listening to all sorts of stuff that I was not supposed to be listening to, like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Nine Inch Nails. And they didn't know what I was listening to. And my grandmother came home, they were raising me, and she heard Pearl Jam Unplugged. And she's like, oh, Rob, you have such great taste in music. And I was like, Grandma, if you only knew what I was listening to, you would not be saying this right now. So like, she always like never bothered me about my music when I was a kid. But after she saw this, because he was just unplugged and acoustic, and he wasn't screaming as loud as normal. Yeah, and I really, speaking of like we were talking about Wes asking for criticism, he runs that ship like so well, man. He's one of the best moderators I've ever seen in my life. He just works that shit, man. Like has a thing for everybody. Sometimes I think I'm ready for a question. He'll pop one up and I gotta come to like, oh shit. Comic Stack says same. I watch mine to see what I can do better. Self-scouting, if you will. Yeah. Whoa, wow, I'm way behind, man. Desiree says, haven't read a lot of comics in a long time. I've always wanted to get back into them, but I just don't know what to start to get back into news stories. X-Men, Dawn of X. Dawn of X is, you can jump in, man. I wish I could loan you my House of X and Powers of 10 books, man. Get the trades on that by Jonathan Hickman. The reboot of X-Men is one of the best books in 10 years at least. Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky is fantastic. Anything by Don Cates. Heck, man, just go to your local comic shop and just peruse, man. You can almost always jump into an issue of Batman. Not this Batman, but Detective Comics, I would say. Like if you, it depends on what you like, though, Desiree. I would love to talk to you more about that one, though. If you ever just wanted to like check something out, if you needed recommendations of what kind of comics you like or what kind of characters you like, I could definitely help you with that. Skip says Nick Arcade, though. I don't know what that means, if that's an Hey Arnold reference. Ash says hail at Skip and Tash at Gateway into Comics at the Real Comic Stacks. Skip and Tash says, add Desiree, what type of stories and characters you like? Yeah, that's exactly just what I was talking about. Like, absolutely, like we need to help her out. Real Comic Stack said he loves me. Woo! Skip and Tosh. I hail at Ash on Comics, or he will review you and give you a 1 out of 5 chainsaws. Ash on Comics says, I watch my videos too. Not all. It helps you get better. And I feel if I don't want to listen to your own vid, why should anyone else? Yeah. I agree with that one. X-Pals powers activated. Heck yeah. Some of my favorite, Desiree says, some of my favorite characters are like DC, Zatanna, Anarchy, and Blue Beetle, and Marvel, Northstar, Nightcrawler, and Wiccan. Well, Nightcrawler, okay, that's something we need to talk about, man. I didn't talk about this on the Adamantium Hour, but where the hell has Nightcrawler been? I know he was all interested in being procreation and stuff. Maybe he's just been knocking boots. I do like a lot of darker stuff, but like characters and stories that are witty. Dude, okay, no, I know a book you need to pick up. Go pick up Saga Trade Paperback Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan. Yeah. That book came out of nowhere for me, and I love Saga. And it's on hiatus right now, and when that comes back, holy shit. Also, you could check out, Scott Snyder and Charles Soule's Undiscovered Country #1. It's about like what if America decided to like go off the grid. It's so good. It does not go where you think it's gonna go, and it turns into like Mad Max meets Star Wars. As far as when I say Star Wars, I mean like the imagination that went into this. Like I thought it was just gonna be a bunch of people walking across America. It's not. There's some weird stuff that happened in America when it closed off its borders, and these people come in there to like try to do a mission of mercy, like to. I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but watch my video on this, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Watch that. This is the book, man. This is a book that you should check out, Desiree. I have Anarchy's complete series and even the 2 detective comics he first appeared in. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. Read any indie stuff. What kind of genres you like? Skip says, I will wait for my turn too. Then I drop the skip bomb. And when I'm not talking, I goof off. I'll just got to give the people a show. Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that a lot. That's why I saw you like putting the claws on, and I'm telling you, I got to buy me some Wolverine claws one of these days. Desiree says, I don't know. I kind of get into anything. I've never really read anything indie. I'm not into super gory or violent stuff unless it's not just gratuitous for the sake of it. No. Yeah. No. Like this has got violence in it, but it's like, let's just say, like, look at this. I'll just say this. I see art like this. I see a frame like this. I don't know if it's coming up too good, but like everything up to this page was normal. It was a normal story, and then these people come over a hill and they see this. And if you saw this as you walk over a crest of a hill, holy moly, it changes. I was on board as soon as I turned the page. Oh, and by the way, here's prison sex. Nice segue, Rob. Skip says, I feel that I don't watch Game of Thrones because of gratuity and violence. Yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones was never for everybody. It seemed like it was for everybody, and all the vanilla people really seemed to love it a lot. I hated the end so much. Everybody got stupid. Bill Casey, message retracted. Bill, what you have to say, man? Desiree says, yeah, it just feels so dang forced for fan service sake. Well, it's all in the books, but a lot of stuff is in the books. In fact, the books are like more hardcore, really. And HBO was just rolling with it. Skip says, check out Black Monday Murders for suspense, psycho thriller, not super bloody gory. Paul Green says, wasn't the second Black Widow in the comic Inhumans? I don't know. I didn't read Inhumans. Skip says, for cyberpunk stuff with a good twist, peep Tokyo Ghost. I've heard good things about that. For fun and adventure, peep Paper Girls. Yeah. They're on Image Comics, and if you want to test them out, it's only $2 for the first issue via digital. Desi says, yeah, I can check it out. I've been wanting to get into something new. The last comic I bought were the comics based on the TV show Grimm. Wow. I didn't even know they had those, but it's not surprising. They got comics for everything. Bill Casey says, Alf had a brief talk show on TV Land. Does anyone remember that? Yes. season 2 of Mr. Robot, Alf makes an appearance in a crazy sequence where the whole show becomes a 80s sitcom for a minute, and Alf just shows up out of nowhere. It's amazing. Grades Harim says, "Hi, how you doing? How you doing? Thanks for review of Patriot." Yes, and we will be getting back to Patriot as soon as I finish one of the current shows. We will be going back and finishing Patriot. I owe that to Chris Conrad. I owe that to Steve Conrad. I owe that to Terry O'Quinn. I owe that to everybody that they've helped me out too. I didn't mention them, but Chris and Steve and Terry and all those people over that make Patriot and that made Perpetual Grace and Limited. Those people did a lot to help me out when those videos were out. Dana DiLorenzo, man, she was really cool. Luis Guzman. I had a few correspondence with Luis Guzman. Oh my God, that guy is such a sweetheart. So we'll be getting back to Patriot though, grades for sure. Tiny Toon was a weird cartoon show, says Paul. Yeah, man, but do you guys remember how I spent my summer vacation? Oh man, I watched the hell out of that because I love Plucky. I love Plucky Duck. I also especially love Baby Plucky Duck, where he's like, all I wanted was some mashed potatoes, and the whole thing like water go down the hole when he's like obsessed with flushing the toilet. Jesus Christ. Tiny Toons. Now I'm starting to feel old when we talk about this stuff. Skipitash, I hope you enjoy Desiree. Desiree, yeah, Rob, like when you were agreeing about the new Joker movie, You and Me Against the Masses. Skip will agree. Skip's on board with this one too, man. He's not seeing Joker either, and I don't know if it's for the same reasons that we're not seeing it, but like, I don't need a Joker origin movie. This movie could have been about anybody. It didn't have to be about the Joker. I'm sure Joaquin Phoenix is brilliant in the movie, as they say, but I can see the movie in my head. Guy gets, just one bad thing after another until he finally breaks. I've seen that movie before, man. And not just like in Taxi Driver, but like movies like Falling Down with Michael Douglas. And Joker's not the first one to do this. And I feel like you take the mystery away from Joker if you give him even though they say this isn't like necessarily the Joker, it's a Joker. And I'm like, well, then why do it at all? Like, why do it at all? They just can't leave well enough alone sometimes. And it just proves that DC, while Aquaman to me was fun and Wonder Woman was sometimes fine, it still shows they don't really know what they're doing over there with their movies yet. But yeah, no, I will not see Joker. It's the same reason why I'm not going to see Rise of Skywalker. Because if I don't see Joker, then I don't have those images that I can't get out of my brain that I'll have to somehow have to reconcile with. And if I don't watch it, I won't have to reconcile with it. And it's the same thing with Rise of Skywalker. If I don't finish the trilogy, then to me, it never really happened. And I'm sure I'll have it all spoiled for me, but literally, if I don't see it, if I just have somebody tell it to me, it's like fan fiction. And I'm just going to try to remember the original trilogy of Star Wars and The Force Awakens, up to The Force Awakens, I guess, and then I'm out. In fact, I wish I could erase Force Awakens and Last Jedi from my memory too. But I mean, Force Awakens was still fine, but you have to take it as a whole. I don't want to get onto that. I don't want to get onto Star Wars because it'll make me like, yeah. But The Mandalorian, best live action cartoon ever. I think Bill says, I think for Doug and Harold, the term you're looking for is slice of life. Yeah, definitely. Bill, that's a great way of putting it. Ash says that orange soda is making me crave some Mountain Dew Live Wire now. Paul says, ever try Fanta orange soda? No. The reason I get Faygo, it sounds like something that like Archie Bunker would say about a homosexual. Hey, look at them Faygos. I'm sorry. Oh my God. It does though. Like it sounds like somebody trying to be, saying something nasty about somebody. Yeah, it's some of this Faygo orange juice. Desiree says, I used to drink orange soda a lot because of Keenan and Kel. I didn't actually like it, but Kel made it sound like it was the nectar of the gods. Um, is it true? I do. Ooh, ooh. And Desiree says, that sounds pretty neat, actually. I could check it out. Wow, I actually caught up to everything. So now that I've caught up, I want to talk, and again, thanks everybody that watches this in the future. You guys are, everybody that sees this, I thank you so much. Everybody that's been here, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I couldn't have done any of this without you. I'm glad that so many of you have shown up and hung around for a little while. I'm going to keep going because there's still more stuff that I want to talk about. Paul says Joker seems like an outer world story. There might be a female Joker movie. What's up with Gotham? That's a lot of different things, Paul. But Skip, hey man, take it easy. See you later. Thanks for coming in, man. I can't wait to talk to you one of these days again soon. So much, thank you, man. Thanks for showing up. I really, really, really appreciate it. But to answer your question, Paul, yeah, it does. It could be like an Elseworld story. Female Joker, yeah, there's a, whatever. And what's up with Gotham? Well, what's up with Gotham is it's canceled. Yeah, oh, you'll stay then? Yeah, I'm not going anywhere because I did want to talk about something else. Because if you haven't seen my latest Watchmen review, there was the beginning of the episode. We're getting the backstory of this character named Wade. That's his name is Looking Glass on the show. He wears this mylar like silver mask, and he's kind of like the show's Rorschach in a way. Especially in this episode, you find out like how his kind of path is kind of like Rorschach's, because his character, at the beginning of the episode, and spoilers, okay, for Watchmen episode 5. At the beginning of this, it's the night of Adrian Veidt dropping the squid on New York, and he's in Hoboken, and it's doomsday clock, 1 minute to midnight. They're getting ready for the end. And he gets off a bus. There's this guy in like a black suit. And what is this? I don't even know what that is. Wow, we're getting into some weird stuff now. He's got all these boys that come off a school bus, and he tells them all to go talk to these people about the end of the doomsday, and they have Watchtower magazines. So these are Jehovah's Witnesses, and he's going up to people talking about how they're sinners. And so I just had to bring up the inaccuracy of, like, while I love the episode, I try to review things like if they're trying to be accurate to the way things are, and even though this is a comic book, based off a comic book, Damon Lindelof's making this stuff up as he goes along, but he also tries to keep it accurate, right? He tries to make it real. And it takes place in 1985. And let me tell you something. Like I said, Jehovah's Witnesses don't come on a school bus. Even if it was doomsday, they would never come off a school bus with just a bunch of boys that would go off and hand out watchtowers to these people. And that's just a long story short. If you watch the review, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I put that in the video, and man, did my comment section fill up with a lot of people that don't know anything about Jehovah's Witnesses that claim to. And I was raised one for 19 years. And the level of ignorance from people that don't understand what that is astounds me, because it's a very secretive group, kind of like Scientology, where you really have to be a part of it to know what's really going on. And So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because that's my background. That's where I came from. So imagine me like all those years ago, and imagine and now see me now. I've come like a really long way from that. People that find out that I was um, can't go who that how you like you don't seem like you ever were one, and it's because I never really like I never bought in um, for the most part. Once I was able to think for myself, and it was why I had to like why one of the reasons why my I've had such a long and dark and lonely road, and I don't want to get down this road too far, but it's just another one of those things that I had to and I still haven't completely let go of that is like still a part of me. And I still haven't like I haven't decided if I basically what I'm saying is does anybody want to hear me have a like make a video about it? Because I've been toying with the idea of it for a while now. I'm talking about my experiences as that because it's something that will never like leave me. It's even though I haven't been one for now more than half my life. For the first part of my life, I was, and I just don't know if anybody'd be interested in hearing that. I mean, I know like people love to just hear gossip and stuff, but I'm worried that it might come off too preachy, which or I'm worried that people will think that it's something that I don't usually do on my channel, but I feel like it's something that I need to talk about, and I think I'm probably answering my own question, but um, it's been part of the reason it's taken me so long to become who I am now is because of the way that place gets into you, even when you're not a part of it, and how like I have not talked to my biological mother. I don't know why I said I haven't talked to my mother since 2002 because she refuses to talk to us. Me and my two sisters are not in the religion anymore. She refuses to have anything to do with us until we come back to it. Now, a little background on that. She's been kicked out of the church twice, come back 3 times. So, when you're a 3-time loser, do you really have a place to, throw that shit in your kids' faces? Probably not. So, but you can see that it's a kind of religion that breaks people apart instead of bringing them together. They claim to want everybody to be part of this one whole group of people that also they want all of us to survive the end when God steps in and creates this Armageddon that kills everyone but the worthy. But their religion, I call it cult. I call it a cult. I in my heart, it's a cult. Um, if you're not a part of it, you get completely shut out from your family, and I feel like that's kind of missing the point of a religion is to bring people together, not break them apart. And so I don't know, like Desiree saying, I have a great uncle who's one. He really doesn't talk to the rest of the family, doesn't even really visit, just once every other year, if not longer. It's pretty sad. Yeah, but see, is that his choice to stay away? Because it sounds like it's his choice, and that's what they do. Um, I have people that I haven't seen in so long that I don't even feel like they're part of my family anymore. Like they're strangers. It's been so long that it makes me, when I think about my growing up, it makes me feel like that was all a dream and that they were like an imaginary family. Like I feel like an orphan who has memories of a family that never existed. If that makes sense to anybody. Um, and that's not something that anyone should want in their life. That and it kind of like shaped me for a really long time because when I left, I was 19. So it's kind of a funny story, but I mean, I literally went to Lollapalooza '94 and never came home. My grandfather and my grandmother, who were raising me after my parents got divorced, that's a whole other thing. I went to live with them with my just younger sister, and my grandfather was the head of the church, and he used to be my hero. And once we lived there, he became a tyrant. But he was going on a vacation to Canada for a fishing trip, and I had the tickets to Lollapalooza that they didn't know about, and I just said, "This is my moment. If I don't go now, I'll never leave." And so I went to Lollapalooza with my friend Keith, and I never came home. And I lived with Keith's family for a little while until I figured some stuff out, and I never looked back. And ever since that moment, I have been having to, my whole life has been trying to figure out how to learn how to live outside of that. I didn't know how to socialize with people outside of the church. I didn't have like friends. All my friends were in the church. So when I left, it's like saying goodbye to your whole life. And for the next 30 years, well, not quite 30 years, but around then, like 25 years, it's just been me still trying to figure out how to be in this world. And for a really long time, that's the main reason why I got into alcohol, because I was so miserable being alone, that I just, alcohol just fogged all that up. It didn't make it any better, but it made it easy to not think about, things that, like things that I really should have been focusing on, to just forget how bad everything was. And Desiree is saying he married into it. He left town for work and met her and then became one. And now he's alienated for, yeah. Okay. Now see, that happens too. Yeah. That happens quite a lot. In fact, my mother was out of it for a long time, and she married a guy who was against organized religion. And then this really like kind of upstanding, I thought, guy, he went to jail. He went to federal prison for non-payment of child support. And apparently this is one of those cases that they just wanted to make an example of this guy. And he went to federal prison for non-payment of child support. I don't know if they're telling me the whole story, but that's what I was told. And in there, he met Jehovah's Witnesses, and they turned this man who was against organized religion his whole life. If you're part of an organized religion, it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Like you can be a Christian. Christians are fine. We're talking about Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult. Okay. I have no issue with anybody's faiths. As long as you're not hurting anybody, man, or yourself, But he met them and he became one of them. And it was like he was like a pod person after he came out. And my mother like went right back to it because he wanted her, she wanted him. She never wanted us. She abandoned us a long time ago. It's another part of the story that I'm not going to get into here yet tonight anyway. And so all these things, I've always felt like it kept me separated from, like I didn't have a place. It's one of the reasons why I like Captain America, because he's this man out of time where he doesn't know where he fits. Like he doesn't belong in the past anymore, and he's not ready for the future. And then he's always like just trying to figure things out. Where does he belong? And that was for me like the real spirit of Captain America's character. And anyway, but that's how I felt. I felt like most of my life was I was never the right age. Like people that were my age seemed more mature than me. And so I would get older and I was still like, I was waiting tables and stuff. So I was always around younger people. And so it just, my my social, I never aged socially with people. And so this whole thing stems from just being stuck in that way of thinking of the religion and stuff that just kind of dragged me down. And I had been to, I had a friend that had taken me to like to his church a few times. And it was funny how when you go to a different church, and it wasn't like Catholic, it was like a non-denominational church. It's funny, like when you go to one of those places and you can just see the difference. And that's when I knew I had been a part of a cult. Because these people, like, even though they were like part of a group where they all like went to like celebrate their faith or whatever, when you go to a Jehovah's Witness, it always felt like a pressure to completely give yourself over to. There was so rigid that you always felt like you were this close to doing something wrong, and that anybody that saw you doing something wrong would make you feel like hell for it. And so that just played a big part of my life. And I know I'm saying it now, and I'm putting a lot of it out there now. But I just don't know if I should, if it's something that you guys think other people would get help from seeing a video like this. Because I did a video, if you look at my channel, I did a Confessions of an Alcoholic video a while back, and that video I feel like helped people. And I'm trying to think if maybe this video, that's, I guess what I was asking is, do you think that if I make this video, do you think it would hurt or help? Because that's what I want to do, is help. I don't want to hurt anybody. Skip says, thanks for being super honest, bro. You're stronger than everything you've ever been through. Yeah, I'm still here. There was a moment, and it's really weird, but at a really, really low point in 2002, I felt like I had reached my limit to where if where I was and how I was living, if it hadn't changed, and it still didn't change much, but in 2002, and this is the only reason I remember this is because there was an event that happened, and the event was the very last episode of the X-Files was on, and when it was over, I felt like that was the last thing I needed. Was like this thing that I love. Like, I love the X-Files, man. It's like, whoa. Like, I love Breaking Bad, but I love the X-Files. And when it was over, I felt like that was the last thing I had, and now it's gone, and I was ready to kill myself. And I thought, like, if I die right now, it wouldn't, I'd be fine with that. And, that's where you go, like, yeah, like, I'm stronger, like, than everything that I've been through. Like, I'm glad I didn't give up then. I'm glad that I didn't give in. Even if I still didn't change the way I needed to change, I didn't go all the way down. Like, I wouldn't be able to be making this video right now if I had. Skip also says, I'm a Christian. My cousin is a JW. I love him. We have some hard talks. Always love him through the convos. They are very strict. I try to always talk and show them love. They need it. We all need it. Skip says, same thing happened to me only 4 years ago. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that you're able to at least talk. Because I can't talk to my family. They don't want, or let's put it another way. They won't listen. They don't want to hear from me unless I conform. And I've lived this long on my own terms. I'm not going to start living by somebody else's now. God, I sound like a fucking t-shirt or a calendar little thing, like, except, like the cat hanging in there, except put that up there. Like, I'm not going to start living by somebody's rules, somebody else's rules now, or, Ash says, I think you should do it. Thank you, Ash. And I am leaning towards doing it. It's just I think I just feel like I it's once I start, because it's gonna be talking about everything, like everything. And there's so much I have left out of this story, because when you open up this box, this Pandora's box, you have to get it all out there. Oh, looked like my eye was one size different than the other one, but I think it's just the color again is like, or is it kind of feels like maybe I'm like squinting a little bit. Whatever. Maybe I've just been looking at myself for too long tonight. Desiree says, grew up Catholic, and it's the absolute most depressing form of Christianity. It's all doom and gloom. All the songs are death and sadness. Like, you can't be happy if you want to please God. Oh, man. Bill says, I think you should make the video. You seem like you're in a good space to make it thoughtful, empathetic, and honest. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Skip Test says, I've heard similar stories regarding Catholic experiences. I just focus on loving people and showing them love. Yeah, because to me, that's all it's really about, man. Like, we all just kind of want to be left alone for the most part, but like, we still need we're still social creatures, and we need to be kind to each other. I know that I can be judgmental of other people before I even get to know them. Like, I can sometimes just be like, nope. Like, I can look at somebody that I'm supposed to like if I have a new employee in my area, you know, like in the place that I work, and people are like, hey, this is so and so, and I'll just be like, nope. Because I'm the lone wolf, man. I'm the you ever see Dancing with Wolves? I'm the wolf. Like, that's, you got to let me come to Kevin Costner. Like, he couldn't be just, you know, he had to get used to Kevin Costner being around. And then if I feel like, you know, I'll start to maybe get closer to you, that kind of thing. You know, like anybody that tries to force themselves on me, I'm like, nope, you're cut, you're out. It's still, you know, like I'm not a perfect person. You know, I still do things like that make me feel like I realize, you know, I still have growing to do. Skips, yeah. Oh, we all get differences. Love brings us together. Desi says, so my faith is there's a God higher power, and leave it at that. So long as you ain't a jerk and treating people like garbage, it's all you need. And ghosts are real. Yeah, it's the part is that I believe is like, we all got differences. Love brings us together. Yes. And then there's a God higher power. Leave it at that. Yeah. Yeah. And so long as you're not a jerk and treating people like garbage, it's all you need. I've always felt like that. Well, not, I mean, for the majority of my life, that's how I felt. It's like, I feel like I'm just trying to be a good person and trying not to hurt anybody along the way. And if I do, I try to correct that, you know? I don't know why everything has to be so complicated to where we have to do all these things, jumping through hoops. And it's like, you know, look, man, we're all just trying to live our lives. And I feel like if there really is something that's paying attention, wouldn't that want me to be happy? Like, the reason that Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays, here it is. I'm giving you guys some knowledge here. The reason they don't celebrate birthdays, and if anybody tells you differently, look, man, this is from what I learned from when I was growing up. So they've conveniently sometimes changed things. Like, they used to say you couldn't go to college, and now they can. I was like, damn it. I wish I would have known that when I was a kid. If they changed it when I was a kid. And yeah, I know you can always go back to school, but let's face it, I'm 44. I've got a full-time job, and I make YouTube videos. But anyway, I lost track of my thought. Quentin says, hey, man, I haven't been able to watch your streams in a while because of schoolwork, but I'm really proud of you for hitting the goal. You said you wanted to get it by the end of the year, and you did. Great job. Thanks, Quentin Welch. I love your first name. You have the first name of one of my favorite directors, and I'm sure that other people have told you that. But I really appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but yeah, we're all just trying to make it, man. But after 2 hours and 10 minutes, Skip says, yep, I believe God wants you to be happy. Yeah, okay, that's what I was talking about. Like, the reason they don't celebrate birthdays is because they feel that if by celebrating your birthday, you're putting yourself above Jesus that died for our sins. And I'm like thinking to myself, so he's not happy that I was born? Like, just because somebody wants to say, I'm glad you're alive for one day a year, we all get to celebrate someone's life. We're not supposed to celebrate it because that's putting ourselves above some guy that lived 1,000 years ago or whatever. And that person would be that kind of person. Like, why would we want to worship somebody that wouldn't want us to be happy that we're alive? Like, I never understood that. Skip says, it is sad that people side with their fears and pain so much they project it onto other people. Misery loves company, joy attracts company. Yeah, I feel like so many people, there's a lot of people out there that don't really, they in their heart, they know what's true, and but they refuse to, because their life isn't the way they wanted it to be, that they still toe the line. People that live the lie, just because they don't feel like they can separate from that and live their own life. And while my family can say anything they want about me, I don't care. But I've lived life on my own terms. Since I left at 19, I have lived life on my own terms, good or bad. All the mistakes along the way have made me who I am now. I think I've become a way better person than I was a long time ago. And I'm only 44. And while I wish that it would have happened sooner, oh well, things happen when they happen, just like when you get to 1,000 subscribers, which is why we're here. So I think that comes full circle, man. And I just Skip says, yep, that is the reason. You are correct. And my belief is that your birth and every day of your life is a reason to celebrate. Just like, so, and I think that that's a perfect way to get basically end this stream and this celebration of 1,000 subscribers, and not just 1,000 subscribers, but all of us that are here right now, that watch the videos, that enjoy the videos on my channel or anybody's channel, that are either found their voice or learning to find their voice or want to find their voice. I am living proof that you can get to 1,000 subscribers. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. And with all the help that you can find with the community, if you reach out to the right people, if you find the right people, sometimes you got to find the wrong people, which is what I did. Some of the wrong people, you can finally get to where you're meant to be. And where I'm meant to be is right here, right now, talking to all you guys. Over the course of this video, we've had a lot of people come and go, and it really makes me feel like loved and a part of a community. And I can't tell you guys how much this means to me that this video is a success. That this feels like I didn't really have any too high of hopes for this video. I really didn't have high hopes for this video. I just thought, well, maybe a few people will show up, and instead I've gotten a whole lot of people. And this makes me inspired to, at least now, when the camera actually works, when the live stream software actually works, and we have this successful, I'll hopefully be able to do these more often. Because most of my other live streams, some of you guys know, man, they did not turn out so well because the stream just looked like crap. And I would just go to my PlayStation and broadcast there. While they're fine if you just want to hear me rant about stuff sometimes. This is way better, and this is exactly what I hoped my 1,000 subscriber video would be. And wow, Skip says, yes, you are. You are very inspiring, my friend. Hey, man, I get inspiration from you guys too. So it's all symbiotic. It's all, I don't know what I was trying to do there. It's all one big thing. It all loops around, I guess. Desiree says, so definitely should celebrate all the good stuff and overcoming our struggles. Yeah. Bill Casey, I hear Jehovah's Witnesses are immortal and their only weakness is blood transfusions. No, I wish, man, don't talk about the immortality thing, because I'll go back, because I keep saying I want to live forever. I'm telling you, put my brain in a robot body tomorrow. And the weakness of blood transfusions, yeah, that whole thing too. Like, oh, I just rather die than live, man. Bloods from somebody else. I mean, that's I agree, Desiree. And that's what Skip says. Yep, about celebrating good stuff. And Skip says, I want to live forever. What's that? What is that song? Oh, gosh, no, I'm not doing Oasis, because that's what that is. That's oh, no, I'm not doing it. So, especially when I got Tool Sober playing behind me, that would be like Tool meets Oasis. So, anyway, I think after 2 hours and 16 minutes in, I think I've said everything I really need to say. There's probably other stuff. There's plenty of other stuff I could keep saying, but it's 11:44 here, and I do have work tomorrow. But is it Diana Ross? Did they rip off Diana Ross? Oh, no, there is another song. But there's a lot of songs about living forever, not Oasis. You're right. Best 2.5 hour ever. Congratulations, Rob. Thank you, Paul. That means a lot, man. Really. Let me tell you something, guys. Paul Green is at every live stream. He makes a comment in just about every video. You know, he's one of my rocks. He's one of my rocks on here, man. He, like, anytime I feel like the video's not getting traffic, Paul shows up and leaves a comment. And, you know, that you can't buy that kind of loyalty, man. You can't buy that kind of loyalty. I appreciate it, Paul. And Desiree, you know, Desiree's always at all the live streams, man. I love it. You've been becoming more a part of the channel too. Like, that's another reason why I like Gino and all that group, is all of us finding each other. So like I said, any of the people that I've talked about, like D and everybody, man, make sure you check all of them out. If anybody missed part of this stream and you watch it later, remember the people that I brought up, because I'm sure I'm forgetting some people. Like, you know what? Who else to talk about, man? It's an inspiration to me that got me into this was Stone Gremlin Productions. Brad Jones at Stone Gremlin Productions. He doesn't watch my stuff. He doesn't subscribe to me. I've talked to him a couple of times at a couple of conventions, but he, you know, and I've told him that he's an inspiration to me. But he's a big YouTuber. He doesn't have, you know, all the time in the world to like pay attention to guys like me, you know. And plus, once you get to a certain level, sometimes you meet the wrong people. You got to be careful. But Brad Jones at Stone Gremlin Productions, the Cinema Snob. If you don't follow him, check his stuff out too. And Red Letter Media. Red Letter Media are my comedy YouTube guys. Oh my God, I love Red Letter Media so much. I used to live in Wisconsin, and I want to go up there and meet those guys so bad. I know that, like, you're not supposed to meet your heroes, but if I ever get a chance to meet those guys, oh my God. And then the best regular reviewer, like mainstream reviewer out there to me, is Chris Stuckman. You know, he's a regular reviewer. He talks about pace. He talks about, you know, all the technical stuff, but he's still real. He still makes real reviews, and they can be raw sometimes, which is great. He even, like, in his Frozen 2 review, you know, he was cussing, and while cussing isn't necessary, okay, you know, always necessary, but when you feel the word, when you feel it has to come out in a certain way, and you don't hold back, and you're just being honest, you know, without being gratuitous, you know, it works. And Chris Stuckman's like the best regular reviewer. He's like the only big reviewer out there that I still subscribe to. But that's weird that I'm ending this basically on Chris Stuckman. So I got to get back to Red Letter Media. Red Letter Media. If you don't follow them, oh my gosh, they're the best. They're the absolute best. Their Nerd Crew reviews are the most hilarious thing about the people that over exaggerate their place, and oh, it's so great. So Skip says, gotta love supporters like Paul. They make it all worth it. Yep. Bill says, congrats, Rob. Thank you, Bill, so much. Paul, thank you. Skip says Chris Stuckman is the man. Even though I think every video he still says get Stuckmanized. I mean, come on, it's cheesy as hell, but he sticks with it, and it's, you know, It's great. Ash says this was a good stream. I'm glad I got to be a part of it. Ash, I'm glad you were here, man. I'm glad you guys all came. It really humbles me how many people showed up for this, and I got nothing left, man. I got nothing left to say because I'm just running in circles now. But I'm not worried about the next 1,000. I'm just worried about the next, making the next good video. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's new comic book day. I'm looking forward to releasing my next videos, and that's all. That's all. In the next, as the channel grows organically, and through help and support of all of us, and as we help each other grow and get better at all this stuff, and being people and being friends and being a part of a community and getting better. Well, I'll talk about this. I need to figure out the Discord. I tried to get on the Discord. Wes sent me an invite a while ago, and it said that the invitation expired. I thought he was asking me to be on a video. So if you guys could help me figure out how to get back on the Discord one of these days, I would love that. Otherwise, we got Skip's talking about Chris Stuckman. He says he's real. Skip's also says, me too, Ash. X-Pals activated. That's up. Power. Yeah. Desi says, they say profanity is a sign of intelligence. I curse like a sailor just on here because YouTube won't let me. Hey, I fucking say whatever I want. If I'm on somebody else's stream, I pretend my grandma's in the room. You know what I'm saying? And I don't swear all the time. I probably swear more at work than I do in my real personal life, but and only when I get real riled up. Like if I get real riled up, then you'll start to hear watch my Handmaid's Tale videos, man, if you want to see me get riled up. Especially season 2. I get real riled up. Skip says, I don't mind a little cheese. Captain is my fave. He's cheesy, but he's a rock. He's sincere. Captain? Don't know that. Is that just the name of the channel? But anyway, so in the song, he's like, I know the pieces fit. Yeah. So I guess if anybody has anything else to put in the comment section, let's get that, and then we're gonna end the stream in a few minutes here. Might as well wait till 2:30. So let's see. Let's cover a couple of reviews that I didn't get to. I was gonna review Zombieland 2 a while ago. It was okay. First one was better. This one has a great Bill Murray moment in it. Honestly, though, I kind of just felt like the story had no story. It was just more of the people that we like doing the things that they did in the first movie. Other things that I've been watching, like I said, Castle Rock season 2 is miles better than season 1, mostly because Lizzie Kaplan is an incredible actress, and her portrayal of Annie Wilkes from the Misery books, in an alternate version of her. Lizzie Kaplan is not quite doing an impersonation of Kathy Bates, but it is amazing. Lizzie Kaplan is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. But the way she can somehow, through her acting, has transformed herself without really transforming herself, if you know what I mean. I see Annie Wilkes, I don't see Lizzie Kaplan. When somebody can do that, that is amazing. So that show's really good. Plus, it has Tim Robbins, which is really weird because the first season was set at, part of it was set at Shawshank Prison, and then we get the guy from Shawshank Redemption in season 2. It's but it's not the same character, but it's the same actor. What else have I been watching? There's that show on Netflix. There's an anime show called, oh gosh. Well, since we're almost to the end. Whoa. Controller kind of freaked out there for a second. Let's go to my Netflix account and I'll show you the show I'm talking about. That I've been digging. It's I don't really watch too much anime. It's for me the lost in translation thing happens, and I don't understand what's going on. It gets too weird and convoluted. But the show that I've been watching, oh, okay, here we go, is Cannon Busters. Have you guys watched Cannon Busters? This show is insane. It's got this guy who like he keeps coming back to life after people kill him. He's got this like crazy looking like Cadillac 1950 like Cadillac car that turns into a giant like robot bull, and then he's got these two robot companions along the way. It's insane. It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen, but I can actually follow it. So let's see. I've been watching this Man in the High Castle season 5. I've watched the first half of Man in the High Castle season 5, or season 4, the final season. First 5 episodes I've seen. After last season, I was so ready to not watch it ever again. It wins the Too Little Too Late award, even though the acting is still great, the production value is still great. The villains are finally doing stuff that like they're finally starting to make a turn towards the conflict in their inner conflict, at what they're actually doing is finally wearing on them quite a bit, gearing up for the end of the series. John Smith, played by Rufus Sewell, is so great. The man who plays Keto is so great. The other heroes, like the Americans, are still the weakest characters in the show. But this last season has seen a change in tone. It feels a little more hopeful, even though it's still Nazis and Japanese stomping all over this alternate Earth. And so, let's see, what else have I been watching? I'm trying to think. South Park has been good this year. I'm glad that they're done with Integrity Farms, though. What else have I been watching? BoJack Horseman's newest season was incredible. BoJack Horseman's got some of the greatest stories. I don't know how it's not winning Emmys. It's such a great story of it's like David Duchovny's character in Californication, if he actually finally starts to grow. It's so unique. They do so many interesting things on BoJack Horseman. It's unbelievable. What else is there to talk about? A show that I'm trying to get into is Peaky Blinders, but I keep falling asleep. It's not the show's fault. It's my fault. You can never go wrong with Mystery Science Theater. Mystery Science Theater, which is basically my all-time favorite show of all time. If you haven't watched Mystery Science Theater 3000, man, I started Mystery Science Theater when I was 14 years old, back in like the late 80s. And it's Mystery Science Theater 3000 is how I got my sense of humor. It's how I got fast, how I started thinking fast about things and like coming up with things really quickly. Thinking on the fly, improvising, all came from Mystery Science Theater 3000. And I still quote Mystery Science Theater lines all the time, and nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. And I love that nobody knows what I'm talking about, except for that one random person that'll go, "Oh, you're talking about MST3K." And that we have an anagram that's MST3K, and it's cool. So Paul says, Desi says, I use dang in place of all my cussing because I'm Texan and it fit my accent and the way I type and how I talk. It ain't just for show, but it ain't a thick accent, so don't imagine that I'm 100% yeehaw. Paul says you used to like Big O on the Cartoon Network. I don't know what that one is. Skip says, I'm trying to cuss less. It's hard, but worth it. Just a personal thing. No judgment for folks that do. I like challenging myself. Makes me more creative. Be more creative. Yeah. I've been working on it myself as well. But then there's just times where it's like sometimes like holding in a fart. You're just like, it's going to happen eventually, but like, you just don't want to do it right now. And you're just like, eventually you can't just always leave the room. Like I said, man, I don't know half the things that are coming out of my mouth sometimes. You game, Rob? Oh yeah, man, I game all the time, man. I thought you were asking me, am I game to stop swearing? Outer Worlds, got that. I've been doing walkthroughs on that on the channel. We did a few Jedi Fallen Order. a couple of walkthroughs for the first part of Death Stranding. I had been doing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I need to get back to because Paul can vouch for me on that. We used to do a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I did one video on Ghostbusters, the video game. Like I have this stuff all around me, man. Like so I can grab it all the time. And speaking of stuff I just grabbed, if you have not seen the movie Super, it's one of the best superhero movies directed by James Gunn, starring Rainn Wilson. Shut Up Crime is one of the greatest lines of all time. But yeah, I game all the time, man. Like back here, that's all my PS4s. My PS3 games are all in there. I have a PS4 Pro that I'm running on right now that this is on. I got a PS4 in my room. I got about 1,000 games practically downloaded onto my between the two systems. So, but I just don't have as much time to game as I used to. And that's why some of the video game walkthroughs are a little inconsistent because trying to get everything in, trying to be like, cause when you're doing all four things, so like I got games, I got comics, I got movies, I got TV, and then throw in other stuff all the time. And it's like, geez, like where do you find the time to do it all? So we are going to be getting back to the Outer Worlds at some point. I just don't put as much pressure on myself to get to the games because they don't get a lot of traction. And while I don't do this, like I said, I don't do this for likes and subscribers or anymore. But like, if I feel like playing a game, I'll play a game. But I'm trying to be consistent. So I want to finish the Outer Worlds, and then I'll probably eventually go back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I gotta do this. I gotta complete this too. I bought it for a reason, right? Desi says I'd like to see Peaky Blinders. Really like Cillian Murphy. Wish he did more stuff. It's really good, and I just started to get to where Tom Hardy's in season 2. Tom Hardy, man. Not everybody likes Tom Hardy. I love Tom Hardy. Even look, it's not his fault that they wrote Bane to be. Hello, I'm this guy. It's not his fault that Bane. Like, I'm sorry, Dark Knight Rises was a horrible Batman movie. I'm sorry. Batman doesn't retire because he breaks his leg. Or you know what I mean? Like he retired after Dark Knight and Harvey Dent got, and what happened to Harvey Dent? He just gives up. And then you got Bane who's just like, hello, I'm this guy. I really am just a British guy with a weird thing on my face. But I love Tom Hardy. And so that's why I need to get back to Peaky Blinders season 2. Bill Casey said he tried to kill me with a forklift. Huzzah! Desi says, my hometown got repped in Mystery Science Theater with the gem that is Manos the Hands of Fate. Yeah. Are you serious? Are you serious? Desiree, that is the most awesome thing I've heard all day. Seriously. Manos the Hands of Fate is one of the best things. Skip says, LOL, I feel you. Let it out, man. I'll hold my nose. Paul says, big O anime giant robot cartoon. Oh, okay. Yeah. Some of the funniest MST 3Ks with Joel in it. Yeah, Joel's great. Mike, what I like about Mike is he's one of those guys who laughs with the show. Like when you hear, like Joel was very serious about the show, and so you never heard him laugh to like when he'd hear one of the other guys joke. Joel was very straight about it. Mike always was more natural, and he'd laugh at the jokes that they were making. And I love that. That's why I still love Mike Nelson. I love watching riff tracks all the time. A lot of times I go to bed watching riff tracks just to hear Kevin and Mike and the guy who plays Bill Corbett's voice. Almost forgot his name. I wouldn't have been able to forgive myself. So I still watch riff tracks all the time. So anyway, Desi says, yeah, Manos was filmed here in good old El Paso, Texas. Yeah. Man, that's so cool. I don't even know if do you know where the place was, where it was actually filmed at? Because, oh my God, I would love to go visit that area. That looked like so desolate. But, I feel like, yeah, local guys made it. Yeah, I think wasn't it just to see if he could, just to see if he could make a movie? Anyway, so I think I've gone past 2.5 hours. It's now tomorrow, so I'm gonna if you guys have anything else to say, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I'll give it till 2:40, and then we're done. We'll be done for the night. But I'm just gonna take this time then to I'm gonna take this off. Take this time to again thank everybody that watches this in the future, all of you that are here in the present, that are here now and have been here. Thank you so much. This is like just when I thought that I couldn't feel more successful. I feel like George Bailey. That's right? No, the guy from It's a Wonderful Life. I feel like, the richest guy in town. Here's to George Bailey, the richest guy in town. Wasn't that his name? I feel like I got Zuzu's pedals in my pocket. And man, am I corning and cheesing out right here. This is really corny. But I do. I feel like the richest guy in town right now. And it's all because of you guys. You guys have made this video this special for me. I'm going to be an old man someday. And I'm going to be able to watch my 1,000 subscriber video and remember all the people that were here for me, and that are hopefully I can be there for you guys when you need it. So follow me on Twitter. If you guys need to talk about anything, you can message me, private message me about anything. Don't be afraid. I'm at reviews_gun. If you want to leave me a message about anything, if you just want to talk, if you just need an ear. If you don't have somebody to talk to and you need somebody to just say something to, you can say it to me. You can say it to old Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews, because I owe you guys that now, for sure. And I don't mean some debt to just be repaid. It's just how it is. I'm here for you guys just like you're here for me right now. And I still can't believe that the 1,000 is here, and the 1,000 doesn't mean as much as this. It doesn't. The 1,000 means that I got to do this, and that's all I needed. That's all I think that's all any of us need is this. And this is really special. And I hope that other people, when they watch this, they can see how special it is too, and maybe they'll subscribe to the channel and subscribe to everybody else's channel, and just keep talking and becoming better community, because the world is an ugly place right now. World's got a lot of bad things going on, and when we can carve out a little piece of happiness in it somewhere, then we've made it, right? We've made it. If we can say that, if we can go to bed feeling like we left the world, the place that we live, in a little bit of better state than when we woke up, then we've really made it. It doesn't matter about the numbers and the clicks and the likes and everything else. It's about the connections and all that, and the positivity that we can have. And I can't believe if you knew me even 5 years ago, this person wouldn't be talking like you wouldn't recognize me. And that's awesome. And it's all because of you guys. Mostly. There's a huge chunk of it that's from you guys. I know I did something too. I don't want to sell myself short. But Desi says, yep, it was. And yeah, it's up in the Franklin Mountains. It ain't hard to find. Paul says, where's the cake? I can get it from the bakery later. Ash on Comics says, this is what it's all about, man. You're absolutely right. Skipping Tosh says, it's Ash said it. Desi says, can only get better from here on out, right? And Skip again says, yep, connections. So I think that's a perfect way to leave it. We are literally almost at 2 hours and 40 minutes. I want to thank everybody that watches this, that's been here now, everybody that watches this in the future that couldn't be here today. I'm hoping people like D can watch this later, because, again, thank you so much, D. Darren Jakes, man, go over to D's reviews. Check his stuff out. And, yeah, so this is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews saying we made it to 1,000, but 1,000 means nothing without you guys. And today you guys proved to me that I've made some kind of impact, and enough where somebody wants to come and hang out for 2.5 hours talking. And so that's just the best feeling in the whole world. And I think I'm going to go to bed real easy tonight, because sometimes going to bed isn't easy, So I'm going to slip on some riff tracks, put on a little Mike Nelson and Kevin Murphy and Bill Corbett and fall asleep and hopefully have good dreams and get ready to put out more content tomorrow. So Skip says, have a great night, fam. Talk to you soon. Skip out. Heart. Night. Harab hug. So see you, Skip. See you, Desi. See you, Bill. See you, Ash. See you, Paul. Paul. I will always see you. I talk to Paul like every day. So thank you so much, everybody. And we will see you on the next video. 1,000. Yay! May your dreams have fantastic commentary. Couldn't have said it better myself, Bill. That was awesome. Awesome. See you guys later.